That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 61 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, weird, wacky, strange, and treacherous? Something like that. And before we get into our long stories that we usually have for you guys, we like to get into these news stories.
Your roommate just crept behind you in just his underwear.
I don't need this.
He's creepy. Anything until you brought it up. I'm not here.
Okay, and now he's gone. Just that was treachery right there. But yeah, like we like to get into these news stories, catch you up on any weird news that you guys might have missed. And it seems like you guys didn't miss this news story because I was sent this by 3 people.
How are people sending things to you?
Well,
is it on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah,
I had
usually when the DMs start popping up, I just go, "Yeah, Tobin's got it."
Well, not only just fans, but like just friends. Like
okay,
Alec,
you got friends. We get it.
Alec and Katie both sent it to me, and it says, "Dead bull found mysteriously drained of blood in Oregon." And it's not the first time.
Yeah, we do that.
So this bull, I think there's like a couple bulls, various ones. Oh, it says 5 purebred bulls. They were found drained of blood, obviously dead, with their tongues cut out and their genitals sliced off. So
I guess my question is, and I don't know if you have the answer to this, is that when they get drained of blood, is the blood around there, or is like the blood nowhere to be seen?
So here's the thing: a lot of people go aliens first off because you know they go cattle. They go. If you've ever seen South Park back in the day, that was one of the jokes. The aliens steal the cows, and it's a myth older than time itself.
They just love burgers.
They love burgers.
They're burger boys.
And milk too. They like milk.
They need some milk.
Alien like milk. So yeah.
Aliens don't lactate.
So sciencealert.com, which I'm on, they broke it down with I like to be more, like you said, mythical with it, where it's like maybe aliens, but they went, here's what might have actually happened, and they said that when a bull or a cow dies, it falls on its like side or whatever, and then like all the blood pools to the bottom of the cattle.
Yeah, and I mean that's just any dead living creature that has blood.
And then there's like cracks form because the skin's dry, and then they said that like a lot of the blood just seeps into the dirt. As far as like tongues go, that's like soft tissue, so like a lot of predators eat that. And as far as genitals go, apparently most of the time they like dry, shrink, and like fall off or something like that. Which
is that what happened?
That's terrifying in itself.
I mean, yeah, no, is that what happened to the cows? Not. Yeah.
So my doctor's a fucking liar. But yeah, so all these cows, them dead. They all dead.
Them did.
And but I like to think the aliens did it, and we're just gonna keep it like that. Science, sorry. Magnets, how do they work?
Science, why don't you take a seat, bud?
As ICP once said, I'm sick of all these scientists lying and making me pissed. Something like that.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a good song. Miracles. No, not Magnets. It's called Miracles.
Miracle Magnets.
But he says, fucking magnets, how do they work? So I can see how you...
It's a great music video.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, so you got some news for me?
Yeah, Loose Sled Dog Team leads Billings, Montana police on a slow speed chase.
Oh, see, that is an ethical question right there. How do you stop the car when the car is made of dogs?
Hamburgers. Just drop a couple burgers.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, you driving from them, you just drop a big old bag of burgers.
You know how they usually have the spike strip? You ever seen that made out of sausage links?
Yeah, the meat strip.
You throw the meat strip out there, stops a whole bunch of dogs. But seriously, like, are they that well trained where they're not going to stop for a sausage link?
Well, that's what I'm confused. Is like, are they must have a shitty driver that if he's not there, they're like.
Well, okay. My question is, do you know what he did? Well, why is he running from the cops? Well, why is he sledding from the cops?
Well, I've spent time in Montana. I've spent little time in Billings. I've been to Billings though, and it snows. So maybe he was just going to the store and he left it outside. Maybe I don't know.
No, wait. You said he was running from the cops.
No, I think he fell off the loose sled dog team. Like, I don't think that the driver, like, I don't think the guy was on it.
So basically,
They just kept going.
this is a car on cruise control right now. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Was it Cuba? Was it Cuba Gooding Jr. who fell off?
For a second,
Snow dogs.
For a second, I thought you just fucking butchered my dog's name. And I was like, whoa, dude, you've dog sat. How do you not know my dog's name?
No, it's Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba.
That's a good movie, right? Remember when they all talked?
Yeah.
Best part of that movie.
I want to say I don't, but I do.
Anyway, let's do.
Where's he at these days?
Well, I'm guessing they stopped it. Did they say how they stopped it? Was it burgers? Was it sausage links?
You know me, I don't look into these before I read them.
You son of a bitch! I need an answer. I'll give you a minute to find it while we go to my news story. But I want to know how they actually got. I mean, I'm guessing they just got tired, right? Something like that. Okay, I'll let you keep looking because you better have an answer for me, bitch. But I have another news story as Chernobyl's control room is now open to tourists. ... for 5 minutes. So apparently, if you guys like dark tourism, as that show on Netflix has showed me, you know, if you guys want to go see where Kennedy was shot or go to any radiation zones, now you could go to Chernobyl because it's your favorite show, and now you can go there because you could walk into the control room or one of like the 4 control rooms in Chernobyl. That is
Sounds like a good idea.
That is 40,000 times higher than normal levels of radiation.
Sounds like a good idea.
So basically,
You want a third leg?
Exactly.
In a non-sexual way?
I think it's a
Or maybe?
hey, whatever works.
Sir, your fly's down. I know.
I'm trying to get that
I know.
radiation.
Why do you have a funnel leading into your fly?
I don't ask for
It's one of those, like,
funnels from.
It's like one of those silver tanning tray things that people used to use in the 80s.
Oh, see, I was picturing like the nose of the Tin Man. Didn't he have a tin nose funnel? Something going like that?
I believe his hat was a tin funnel.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel bad for his nose if that's his nose, because now it's in that guy's fly.
You think it'd be backwards.
But
Big open one in the front.
so basically, you have to go in a suit, in like one of those hazmat suits, and you can only be in there for 5 minutes because, like I said, it is 40,000 times the regular radiation levels for like an x-ray. And then after 5 minutes, you have to get out, and then you have to do like 2 separate tests to see if you got like radiation poisoning, which is like the most terrifying thing ever and not fun. But like, who am I to say people climb Mount Everest? But like, I get that because there's, I don't know, it's a view, but like people just want to do things that other people don't normally do, so they could be like, I did that thing.
It's just something to put on your Tinder profile, you fuckers.
Exactly. I have an extra eyeball in my forehead, like the fish from The Simpsons.
It's for you to find.
And all of them are looking at you, baby. Anyway, yeah, so if you guys are going to Russia, go check out Chernobyl. I heard it's beautiful this time of year.
So my next one is Tom's, you know, like shoes,
Yeah.
Tom's. Tom's hacker tells people to log off and enjoy a screenless day. So this guy basically hacked Tom's and emailed everybody on the email list being like, hey, turn your computer off and go enjoy the day.
Wait, why?
No. This is kind of a funny...
I wouldn't go. The email list. Not. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the people at the company, and then
No.
I thought you were talking about people who visited the website. But I was like, who's going to toms.com?
Yeah, the email read, hey, you, don't look at digital screen all day. There's a world out there you're missing out on. End of sentence. And then, you know, just felt some people needed that.
So, you know what's kind of weird, though? I do agree with what the guy's trying to do. It's nice. But I don't like the fact that guy thinks... Like, I hate when people go like, stop watching TV. Look at this generation on their phones. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't know. It's kind of like we kind of need our phones and our computers like now. It's like, as much as I would like to just have a Nokia brick and just like go live in the woods and not have to do anything. Like, if I don't have a phone that has email on it, like, I'll probably not get a job over somebody else because they're like, oh, you check your email?
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't have an iPhone though. I have a Nokia brick.
For me, it's like, I can't tell you how many times I was working on a set and I got a work email being like, hey, are you available for this day? and I don't see it for a few hours, and I like reply like 3 hours later being like, oh, hey, sorry, I was on set, wasn't using my phone, I am available. And they're like, oh, we already filled it.
I got yelled at by my boss one time because I literally left my phone on my desk, and I was like, I don't want to carry my phone around all day. And then he's like, I was calling you, and I was like, fuck.
Oh,
I was like out doing something like
The biggest nightmare story I've ever had on set for me personally was one of the first jobs I ever worked on. It was a commercial for an amusement park, which I'm not going to name for whatever reason. And I was shuffling talent from hair and makeup to set and stuff like that. And what we didn't know was it was technically for the hotel that was on the amusement park.
You're making this really easy to figure out.
I know, but I'm not going to say it. And for whatever reason, there was a frequency that disrupted our walkies. Mm-hmm. And so while I was in this lobby, I wasn't hearing the people in the park saying, bring them to set.
Oh, so they were just like waiting for the people to show up and know, and you were just like...
Yeah, and I had my phone on silent because it was like one of the first jobs I ever did. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to use my phone. I'm going to be in on this, like... no distractions. And then like I just happened to look at my phone to see what time it was, and I had like 8 missed calls and like texts like, where are you?
That sucks.
Yeah,
that's a fun panic mode where your body gets all sweaty and cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like, we gotta go.
So everybody, look at your screens if you need to.
Every
That's
now
what
and
I'm
then.
saying. Sometimes look at your screen, but also maybe go take a walk around the block and look at a bird or two, because we got birds
They're disgusting.
that are made by the government. Birds aren't real.
They charge on phone lines.
So I think you guys are caught up on any news that you needed to know of, because that's all the important stuff. But before we get into these stories, we got to tell you, if you guys like coffee, you got to go get some coffee. You got to go get some Spring Hill Jack, because Spring Hill Jack is the coffee for you. Mm-hmm. So I like to be quick. I like to be to the point, and
a little bit spooky.
As I'm stumbling, and spooky.
A little bit spooky.
It's Halloween, guys. If you guys are having a Halloween party and it's in the morning, you gotta have Spring Hill Jack. If it's at night and everyone drinks and they sleep at your house, and then the next morning you gotta have Spring Hill Jack.
Wake them up.
So just go, like I said, drink it out of a pumpkin.
Oh, maybe a gourd?
We said that we did this last time.
Did we? Boy, I was zoned out.
So go do that. SpringHillJack.coffee. They're great. They got really good coffee, and it's all spooky coffee. Mm-hmm. Very spooky.
Oh, yeah.
So go check them out. They're great. And that's right. It's .coffee.
SpringHillJack.coffee.
.coffee.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's get into these stories, because I got a little bit longer one for you today.
Boy.
And it is very, very weird.
All right.
I have to say, it's one of the weirdest ones I've done.
Okay.
A lot of shit going on.
Are you gonna tell it?
So the story's so weird, guys. You guys wouldn't even get this. David, I'm not gonna tell a story today. It's
I'm not even gonna waste this story on you guys.
Does it look like I'm bluffing? The story's too weird. So now, David, I don't really know how to start the story, since the story itself is so all over the place.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just ask you this. Have you ever murdered someone because of your lies of pretending to be a doctor, as well as a 2,000-year-old immortal alien?
Well, if you replace doctor with lawyer, yes.
You pretend to be a lawyer?
Maybe.
And a 2,000-year-old immortal alien?
Well, I mean, that's just who I am.
Well, if you want to live vicariously as a doctor, I suggest you listen to the story, as today I'm going to be telling you about the murder of Girly Chew Hossencofft.
You want to say that one again?
Girly Chew Hossencofft.
Girly Chew Hossencofft?
Hossencofft.
I'm trying to think. Is that German? Holy shit, what is that? That's like 3 different things. I can't even pinpoint what I would think that is.
Well, let the story unfold, and maybe you'll find out.
His real name was John Smith.
Well, it's a woman, so.
Her real name was Janice Smith.
I mean, the first name's Girly. Poor boy, if he's a little boy.
Yeah, it's Todd Gurley.
So, true, but that's last name. So, in the early 1990s, a young Malaysian woman in her 20s by the name of Girly Chew visited California while on vacation. While in California, she went down to San Diego to visit the now very controversial theme park, SeaWorld.
What's wrong with SeaWorld?
It's just very controversial now.
What's wrong with SeaWorld?
Blackfish. Steve-O hates it.
Yeah, he does.
It's very controversial right now.
So hot right now.
So not really hot anymore, actually.
No.
But while she was in San Diego, she went down to SeaWorld, and while there, she bumped into a man by the name of Diazien. It's Diazien. Is that Diazien?
Diazien.
I'm just gonna call him Dazian because
Okay.
it's like a little bit easier.
We can
but
just call him Big D.
Is he got the funnel?
I don't know.
So Diazien
Schwollen.
Hossencofft. So that's his name. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I could tell you something. It's probably not real. Well, it's not, because we're going to get into that. So the 20-something Dazian Hossencofft was from Houston, Texas, and claimed that he was a thoracic surgeon with degrees from the University of Tokyo and Cornell Medical College. A good old
I'm sorry, what type of doctor?
thoracic.
What does that
You're
mean?
gonna make me look that up. Thoracic.
Well, I mean, you should have looked it up.
You know, like the Thoracic era of dinosaurs, relating
don't.
it to the thorax. Guess I gotta look up what a thorax
Isn't that in
is
your
now.
neck?
I was thinking that thorax. A
I thought
planet.
I thought
I'm
only
joking.
ants had
This
thoraxes.
is the part of the body of a mammal between the neck and the abdomen,
Heyo.
including the cavity enclosed by the ribs, breastbone, and dorsal vertebrae, and containing the chief organs of circulation and respiratory. So it's just your chest cavity, basically.
Okay.
Why? I mean, I feel like I should have known that, and it rang a bell. I'm dumb. Who cares?
We're both very dumb.
So, but he also went to Cornell. Big Red, Andy. So,
Nard dog?
yeah, exactly. Soon after the two met, they began dating and quickly became married in 1993, allowing Girly to move to New Mexico with Diazien. So she was probably getting that green card, and he was probably getting a nice little wife, you know?
Okay.
Because as you're gonna find out, this guy. Actually, pretty easy for him to get a wife, surprisingly. So we'll get into this. I don't want to say too many things yet.
Yeah, okay.
So the two stayed together for about 6 years until the year 1999 when things began to get suspicious and tense. At this point, Girly was working as a bank teller at Bank of America in New Mexico, and Dazian was making money as a doctor, so he said. It was this year that Dazian's lies began to surface. Girly soon found out that Dazian was not in fact a doctor at all, but a con man. Oh, I feel like all doctors are going to be, you know.
Every doctor's a con man.
You know, I don't go to the doctor.
Eat these sugar pills.
I rub a crystal on my, the part that
Your
hurts.
thorax?
On my, I swallow crystals.
I put a crystal on a string, I swallow, and I pull it up and down to really massage the thorax.
I've lost some crystals. Let's just say that.
Well,
okay. So
I've lost a few, but found many.
it was in fact true that Dazian did attend medical school, but was expelled after he was found to be doctoring transcripts. So he was some sort of doctor, I'm guessing, because he was doctoring transcripts. After his expulsion, he changed his name from his birth name, Armand Chavez, to Dazian Hossencofft. Why would you switch your name from Armand Chavez to Dazian Hosen? He's like, I don't know.
Those are two very drastic
He's
names.
DTM. He's doing too much.
Yeah.
So soon after
DMT?
what'd I say? Doing too No, DTM.
I'm just talking about DMT.
Oh, he's not doing DMT.
You sure?
He might be. Soon after is when he would meet Girly Chew. So he switched his name, and then right after he met Girly Chew. So Girly found out that Dazian had continued to trick people over the years into believing he was a geneticist who claimed to have leukemia, and he sold fake cancer treatments to clients who would pay thousands of dollars for anti-aging injections, which is there's a lot wrong with that in the first place.
Yeah.
For one, he's like, okay, I'm a doctor. And then he's like, also, I have leukemia. And then third, I could cure your leukemia because I have it. And
Yeah.
I'm okay. And fourth, you'll look younger. And it's just like, dude, fucking pick one lie. What are you doing?
Yeah, maybe pick a better target to attack. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
Asswipe.
You know, I guess, going after cancer patients is not the most ethical. But as we're going to find out, he's not too ethical. Because she also found out in 1996, he fathered a son by a Japanese woman living in Canada. Like I said, he could get wives pretty easily at this point.
Okay.
This was a lot to handle for
Was he a good looker? Do you have a picture of him?
He was not a good looker.
Huh.
He was kind of like, let's just say the kid from the Terminator grew up, and he looks like the guy from the Terminator now.
So the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah, they kind of do look similar.
The older brother, okay.
So yeah, no, he's just like a kind of a pasty, long, black, wet hair kind of guy, glasses.
God, I love that look when your hair just looks wet all the time.
Yeah, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. He has leukemia.
I get why he's getting married so much.
Cured his leukemia, and man, he's just living the life apparently.
Boy.
So this was a lot for Girly to handle after finding out that her husband now of like 6 years,
Okay.
4 years, something like that he had a kid from another woman, and it was a lot for Girly to handle, but not as much as when she finally found out his last secret, that while still married to his wife, Girly, he was engaged to 3 different women, including a woman by the name of Linda Henning. So like I said, this guy, I don't know what he's proposing them with, but I don't think he's got that kind of money. He's got 3 engagements going on.
Yeah.
He seems like more one of those guys like, material things don't matter. They're like, aren't you a doctor? You like have a lot of money. He's like, I'm just like,
So he's kind of like a cult leader almost.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, which is like kind of what Charles Manson was doing too. He was just like, I'm so much smarter than everybody here.
Got the confidence.
I got a swastika on my forehead, and you're like, oh, that's not very smart. So, well, he was in prison, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Got bored.
so Linda Henning, one of his fiancées, was born in October 10th, 1953, and grew up in Hollywood, California. What's up, Linda Henning? To a single mother after her father walked out, causing a great deal of trauma for Linda. Apparently, Linda would pin unrealistic expectations and deep emotional seeds on her boyfriends, as well as believing anything they would say. So basically, when her dad left, she got all fucked up in the head and put like a lot of stock into her boyfriends. So you want to stay clear of Linda Henning, anyone out there. You stay clear. So by this time, Linda Henning graduated high school. She had become a model and a clothing designer, and a successful one at that. By the late 80s, she had moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she owned a beautiful home and was engaged to be married. Well, that was until 1999 when she went to a convention. But not just any convention, David.
Yeah.
A convention run by conspiracy theorist David Icke. So,
No, I thought you were addressing me.
no. Are you David Icke?
No, but you led real hard with the David part.
Oh, yeah, I did. So, but do you know who David Icke is?
It sounds really familiar, but I'm not really putting it together.
So, yeah, I didn't really know exactly who he was, but among Icke's beliefs is that the world is controlled and manipulated by an unseen global network. Is this sounding familiar?
Yep.
Who he has previously identified as interdimensional, pedophilic, shape-shifting reptilians that include most of the world's ruling elite, from George Soros to the British royal family.
Which we talked about on episode
Many
22?
at least 3 episodes now. Queen Meat? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was in the 20s.
Yeah, but we've touched on we talked about it on Monster of Glams.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
He's a descendant. So if you guys don't know, the Queen of England is a reptile overlord who is controlling this world, and that's why she's still alive and living forever.
It is honestly pretty wild she's still alive,
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
being honest.
So this guy was touching on all that. I would actually I'd like to go check out this seminar if the tickets are cheap. I want to see the people there. It's good people watching. So the seminar also touched on aliens, since it was also in New Mexico, the home of the alien encounter. And while at the seminar, Linda met Daisian, who told her he was a doctor and former member of the CIA. Why not?
Yeah, just go for gold.
Yeah, I mean, you're already a doctor. Might
Do
as
it
well
all.
be I'm a secret.
And he's been to the moon.
She's like, hi, what's your name? He's like, I'm Daisy. And she's like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm a doctor. She's like, that's okay. And
like,
he's
that's fun. I've had a few doctors in my life.
and then he like kind of looks around. He's like, also secret agent.
I'm a
She's like-
I'm a secret agent doctor from space.
She's like, what? And he's like, firefighter too. Also, I'm an engineer at Disneyland.
And I've fought in every war. Every war I've fought in, and I survived.
I survived. I killed everyone.
I killed all of them.
So he told her he made his money treating rich women by giving them vitamin injections that he said would stop the aging process and in some cases even cure cancer. According to court documents, he also claimed to be an alien and to be immortal. So that's kind of like what we were talking about. He's like, I'm a doctor. She's like, that's cool. He's like, I'm an agent too. She's like, that's pretty cool too. And he's like, alien, immortal.
He didn't get sexy vegan tattoo on his face, did he?
He did not get sexy.
Okay, I just want to clear that up. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that was thinking maybe this is where this was going.
That would have been a pretty cool reveal at the end of this.
Yeah, it would have.
But yeah, so he just like keeps tacking on whatever he can. She's like, she definitely believes in aliens, and I'm one of them. So let's try to get another wife in there. So shortly after, Linda Henning broke off her engagement and started dating Daisian, telling her friends that they were going to get married. After, little did she know, he had 3 other fiancés and another wife. After finding out about all these lies, Girly Chew could not take it anymore, and Girly, who had already reported 2 accounts of domestic violence over her years of marriage with Daisian, she decided that in February of 1999, she would file for divorce, which is a smart move. You got to get away from those 2,000-year-old immortal aliens because they're just going to, you want to grow old together, right?
Yeah, they're just going to outlive you and the kids and the grandkids and the kids after those.
Hike. I'm like, I'm tired. My knees don't work anymore, So
they don't work no more.
They don't work no more. So rub a crystal on it. So Daisian, on the other hand, did not take the divorce so well. Girly began telling coworkers and even called the FBI to tell them that Daisian Hossencofft was threatening her life due to the secrets she knew about him and the fact that she was planning on exposing his crimes to the police. She also told her friends and the FBI that if anything were to happen to her, they should immediately focus on her estranged husband, Daisian Hossencofft, which is very foreshadowing, I must say. Because as Girly was trying to avoid Daisian, his new soon-to-be wife, Linda Henning, was all in. She had stopped bathing and changing her clothes and even began to pitch Daisian's miracle cures to her friends, stating that her new man was a 2,000-year-old alien who would promise great powers to anyone who followed him. So, yeah, I guess you're right. This is sounding a lot more like a cult than he's only 3. Now he's too strong,
Yeah.
He has 2 wives. He used to have 3, but he's trying to get those Charlie Manson numbers because I think Charlie had like 12, 11, maybe more than that, but he's just not that good. His hair's too wet. So she also stated that reptile aliens were coming to Earth and that particular individuals would be local emissaries to the reptiles and that she would be a reptilian queen. So that is actually very similar to Charles Manson, where he said there's going to be a race war. All the black people would rise up, kill all the white people, and then they would make Charlie Manson and like his other white followers, like they would make them the leaders or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was basically the same thing, but he's like, oh, reptile aliens.
Yeah.
So Linda's friends did some investigatory work on their own and found out that Daisian was not in fact a doctor at all and that a medical school he listed did not even exist, and the school he claimed to have his undergraduate degree from was a women's college.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, he is like an invincible alien, so can you really pin a gender on him?
Yeah, he could probably like what do you
shapeshift?
A sexual or what's the one where you just form,
let's go with shapeshift.
Like what's the one where you like amoeba and you split into 2 and you could just like snails? Don't they have sex with themselves?
Yeah. What?
He's a snail.
Yeah, he's just a snailman.
So, but like he's like I'm a doctor, and they're like, where's your school? And he's like, you didn't really just try to do like any other school. He says an all women's school.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
it's
man.
Not doing your research.
Dropping the fucking ball. So her friends also began to worry when they received a letter from Linda in all capital letters reading, all caps. You know what that means. It said, this is a spiritual war as well as a physical one. The humans stored in cryostasis will have their souls, quote, life essence, extracted and dissipated. The reptilians are led by a queen back on the moon base. I know this sounds like sci-fi, but I was told the sci-fi stuff was created, so in case this story ever gets out, no one will believe it. It's kind of smart.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He's trying to cover his trail.
So, Henning urged her friend to obtain his cranial x-rays because this guy had, I think he had a brain tumor or something like that.
Okay.
And Daisian was like really trying to pitch like, hey, I could cure your brain tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy started doing research and he found out this stuff. And it said that Linda Henning urged her friend who had the brain tumor to obtain his cranial x-rays from his doctor so that they could analyze for signs of small molecular crystals which can hear or see what you do. She claimed Hossencofft carved one out of his leg and further claimed that President Bush is a full-fledged reptilian who uses holograms to project a human face.
Okay.
So he's packaging a lot in this pitch to let me see your brain scans. He's like, can I see your brain scans? Bush is a reptilian with a hologram face. And the guy's like, what was the last part you said?
Can we repeat that last part?
Brain scans?
Brain scans. Hand them over.
Ooh, I think there's some crystals in your head I need to carve out. Oh, shit, he has crystals in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at my thoracic cavity.
It's all coming full circle.
You're going to think I'm a lizard. So on the morning of September 10th, 1999, Girly Chew Hossencofft didn't show up to work. Her supervisor reported her missing to police due to her constant talks about being in danger. Detectives went to her apartment where they found bleach stains on the carpet and wet spots where it had been cleaned, but apparently not cleaned well enough. The investigators found 7 spots of blood in the apartment, and that same day on a stretch of highway 120 miles south of Albuquerque, a workman found a tarp, a woman's blouse, shorts, underwear, and pieces of duct tape and gauze, all smeared with blood and containing strands of hair. That's
delicious.
That's the last kind of tarp you want to find on the side of the highway, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of tarps on the side of the highway. That's not the one you want to find.
You want to find the one full of candy and Big Daddy DVDs.
Maybe some tomatoes.
Any Adam Sandler comedy just wrapped up in a tarp.
Yeah, or that what was the murder mystery one he just came out with on Netflix, and you're like, hey, I didn't know that came out on DVD, and all of a sudden you got about 5,000 copies, and you're gonna start selling them.
There might be blood and hair mixed in with those DVDs. Let's not kid ourselves.
Hose them off in the back.
So when police went to question Daisy and Hossencofft, they found his front door open and his house empty of people and belongings. Not guilty at all looking, you know? Next, authorities questioned Linda Henning, who claimed she didn't know Hossencroft's whereabouts and that she didn't expect to see him again. When asked about his wife, Girly, Henning said they had never met. They actually tracked Daisian to South Carolina, where he was living with another woman, Cheryl Culp. See, he's got
type.
He's got girls and area codes, as Ludacris once said. I'm not going to say the actual lyrics, but he's got girls in different area codes.
It rhymes.
But who believed that she was soon to be his wife? Oh, so she thought he was going to be marrying her too, but you got to keep that scam going somehow if you need a place to sleep. He claimed to not know of Girly's whereabouts, but was extradited back to New Mexico for questioning, because you don't just move all your shit after your ex-wife dies and expect not to get questioned. So when the test results came back on the evidence found in Girly's apartment and along the highway, police were surprised with what they found. As expected, Girly's blood and hair was all over them. But there was another person's DNA on the items, and it wasn't Daisian's. It was Linda Henning's. There were long strands of hair that were found in the tarp that were Linda's, and Linda's blood was found in Girly's apartment along with Girly's own blood. So in Girly's apartment, there was a bunch of Girly's blood, and or 7 dots, but there was also mixed in there Linda's blood. So they're like, oh shit, she was at the apartment, even though she claimed to have never met her before. So police executed a search warrant on Henning's home and found a Japanese ninja sword hidden in the ceiling of her garage.
Are you talking about katana?
Yes. But, I mean, I always keep my swords in my ceiling. You can't just like have your swords out.
You can't, because it people get uncomfortable.
People want to pick them up. People want to swing them around, but you balanced it just right. And
Yeah.
It's sharp. Be careful, you know. So they found it up in her garage, and definitely not trying to hide anything.
No.
Receipts showed that Daisy Hossencofft had purchased it on the day of Girly's disappearance. That's just coincidence.
Yeah.
He just happened to have been talking about a samurai sword for a while and bought it today.
I mean, when you see the right sword, you have to buy it. And
Yeah.
sometimes it just lines up with something weird.
You
but
can't not buy it because your ex-wife's going to die tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, they also found a shotgun and a .22 Beretta handgun. Okay.
I mean, who doesn't have those?
I have both those in my ceiling.
Yeah.
Detectives discovered Linda had been lying when she claimed to have never met Girly, though. Because Bank of America records showed that Linda had banked there, and on at least one occasion,
Bank of America just dunked on him. Oh, yeah? Look at this. What do we got here?
also, you got $16 in your savings.
We want to air that one out.
So like, man, you have to release that one.
You spent $83 in the last 2 weeks at McDonald's. You want us to speak about that one?
Are you my financial advisor? Shut the fuck up. So, but like Linda had banked there, and on at least one occasion, the missing woman had been her teller. So Girly was her teller at least once. On October 29th, police arrested Linda Henning for perjury, and 3 weeks later, on November 17th, she and Daisy and Hossencofft were indicted for first-degree murder. So, I mean, you kind of have the facts stacked against you at this point. So when the trial came around in January 14th of 2002, a couple years later, Daisy and Hossencofft surprised prosecutors by pleading guilty to planning the murder of Girly Chew Hossencofft, but claimed that he did not in fact murder her and did not know where the body was. He also claimed that Linda Henning had nothing to do with the planning of the murder itself as well. Daisy claimed that a man by the name of Bill Miller, I think he was a baseball player,
Miller.
but not that Bill Miller.
Yeah, Miller. Hey, I'm Miller.
Miller did it.
You want to play some billiards? I'm Billard.
So, like I said, a man by the name of Bill Miller committed the murder and hid the body. The police questioned this because, like I said earlier, Linda Henning's blood was found in Girly's apartment. This is by far my favorite little detail of the story, because Daisy had an explanation for that. He said he went to the apartment to try and throw investigators off by planting random blood at the scene of the crime. He originally went to the crime scene with a vial of another woman's blood, since he did have vials of blood due to lying about being a doctor, so he would just actually take blood from people. But when he got to the scene, though, he accidentally crushed the vial of blood in his pocket and was unable to use it. But he did have one more vial, and it was Linda's blood. You know how you always just carry your fiance's blood vial in your pocket?
Yeah.
So he decided what he was going to do. This is the most logical thing I've ever heard. He's like, my good blood's gone. I'll use my fiance's blood.
Not young blood.
So not young blood, but what he decided to do was pour acid and bleach into the vial, so it would degrade the sequence enough to give you female DNA, but not a sequence to diagnose any one person. But of course, that didn't work, and they knew right away it was Linda's blood. So like I was saying, this classic, like, I'm the smartest guy in the room, but I didn't do research on that, like, bleach and acid didn't desequence blood, I guess. And, or he's just fucking lying in general, and which I think is more likely the case, and Linda actually showed up and killed Girly. So,
Yeah.
because police didn't also believe that story because the pattern of the blood droplets suggested a struggle between Girly and Linda.
Yeah.
But Daisy still held to the story that he agreed to let Bill Miller and his militia friends kill Girly Hossencofft because they needed to practice killing humans before the final showdown with the emerging New World Order. You know, like when you just need practice killing humans just in case, like when the
Practice makes perfect.
when the lizard people show up and they go, "Do you guys know how to kill humans?" And one guy goes, "Yeah," and the other guy goes, "I've never done it." And they go,
I think I can do it.
"You're not gonna get the job, man." So, Bill Miller Biller
Biller.
was not believed to be the killer. This is a fucking Dr. Seuss book. Biller was not believed to be the killer, but he was
Baylor was not the killer.
but he was believed to have tampered with evidence. So he had like 5 accounts of evidence tampering, and I don't know what that means. Maybe he drove the tarp. Or
Yeah.
something. He's like, here, take this and drive it.
I mean,
like
once you
100.
get one,
He's like, I'll pay you $500, drive this tarp, and like throw it off the side of the road or something like that.
if you're going to get one, you might as well get 4 or 5. What? How many?
5?
Five?
You got 5 counts.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
So, in the end, Daisy Hossencofft confessed and was sentenced to life in prison plus 60 years. Linda Henning was found guilty of first-degree felony murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, perjury, criminal solicitation, and tampering with evidence, and she escaped the death penalty and instead was sentenced to 73 and a half years. That half just smacks you right in the face.
It really does.
So,
Because once you make it there and you got that 6 more month, and that's when you get stabbed.
I mean, she was like 30 something at the time, so she's gonna be like 110 when she gets out.
A ripe age.
So the most eerie thing is that Linda had made statements that she had actually consumed the flesh of Girly Chew Hossencofft, and that as a consequence, her remains and body would never be recovered by authorities. For this, for his role in the crime, Bill Miller received 1 year probation. See what happens when you tamper with evidence? You only get a year probation. Not too bad.
You heard it here. You heard it straight out of the horse's mouth. Just go fuck with all of the
If you
evidence.
see a hammer with blood on it, just
Wipe it off.
Pick it up.
Wipe it off.
Put your
Wash it off.
Hang a picture.
Hang a picture.
So put it on
Move
a
the pictures. There's a huge blood stain with the nail.
put it on a shirt.
Yeah, put it on a shirt. God damn it.
So the body of Girly Chew was never found, but is still unknown if the cannibal rumors are true. So if that story didn't fill your need for weird stories, I suggest you move to the dark side of the moon and join the rest of the Reptilian Brotherhood, because that's about as weird as it gets here on Earth. Besides Buckingham Palace, of course. Who knows what goes on within those walls?
Oh yeah.
So we got them reptilian overlords.
It's
living up-
It's ironic that we actually mentioned how the queen is a lizard person, because the person who told that story is actually sitting like 15 feet away from us.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
coward just showed up, and he wants like money for this podcast, as he's a coward. He's like, hey, I was on the podcast, can I have some money? And I'm like, dude, we don't make money off this. And
We want money too.
now he's stealing our thumbtacks. Like,
You just you have that picture mural of like the continents. He
Yeah.
just took the middle one. You just lost half of Africa and most of Russia.
he could have Siberia.
Yeah.
I don't want it. But yeah, so that's the murder of Girly Chew Hossencofft, and it's actually really sad because she just seemed like a nice lady, and who got, she probably was like, this guy seems nice enough, and I want a green card, and I want to move here, and he was a fucking weirdo who thought he was a 2,000-year-old alien, and he fucked everything up.
I'm curious, why do we call it a green card?
This is not the podcast for that.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of.
I never really thought about
I
that.
could tell
Is it
you-
green?
I could tell you how to dismember a body, but I can't tell you what a green card represents.
Let's just pretend it's a green card.
What? What?
The
Pretend what's
the-
a green
The
card?
physical card is green.
That's what I was thinking. Is
Yeah,
it? I was
I don't
thinking
know.
like when they give you your green card, like a referee runs up to you and like throws it up in the air and blows a whistle, kind of like a red card in soccer.
Yeah, you get to stay in whatever country you're
Or
in.
those lizard people across the pond call it football.
It's football.
So anyway, that's the story, and it's fucking wild and crazy, guys.
A lot of twists and turns.
It really is. So
All right. So my story here is about. First of all, it's an incredible story about a lost item that was found in a very unlikely place.
oh, is it Crystal in the Thorax? I love that movie.
Well, I mean, that was kind of how I was going to end this, so I guess I'm done.
The Crystal in the Thorax 2.
So in 1999, there was a little family, the parents Eleanor and Frederick, and their lone child George. George always wanted a little brother or a little sister to play with, but for medical reasons, Georgie boy was lucky enough to be alive because his parents had issues with conception.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say like he was lucky to be alive because he had like he had a disease where if he saw a brother he died or something like
His
that.
parents.
I have brotheritis. My brother's inflamed.
No, his brother's not inflamed. So, distraught, the parents decide to do, the right thing and look into adoption. There's plenty of kids in the world who need families and who have been left by their own for, various reasons.
Yes. In various regions.
In various regions as well. They're all over the place. And so, yeah, they looked into adoption in the New York area. Eleanor and Frederick, they were faced with a difficult decision. Like most parents who visit orphanages, they had so many choices. Lots of kids to choose from. All these bright, incredible children who had so much promise and potential. So, like, how could they possibly make the choice to, take one lucky child into their home, not only changing their lives, but the child's life?
Yeah, I would feel really, like, I can't even go to, like, a pound and, adopt any animals there, because I
Yeah.
feel bad about the animals I'm not adopting.
And they all watch the dog walk out on the leash, and they're all just like, "Oh,
Yeah, it's really bad when you have to walk the kid out on the leash. And
I knew
everyone's
I
like,
shouldn't
"That's
have
illegal."
thrown up."
That's
So, there was one child who truly stood out from the rest. Eleanor and Frederick they couldn't quite figure out what it was about him.
Is this Stuart Little?
No, what?
It's not Stuart Little.
But something about this young man made them immediately know that he was the one. Notifying the house parent, which is, the person who...
The nun?
They're not always nuns.
I saw Problem Child.
Okay.
They're nuns in that.
I don't remember Problem Child.
Oh my god, that movie's so good.
It's about an orphanage? There's
Yeah,
a lot of orphanage movies in the 90s.
He's like a little redheaded kid, and then he gets adopted by the guy from Three's Company, and then like he gets involved with like a serial killer who's played by Kramer from Seinfeld. It's a wild ride.
Huh.
The bow tie killer. Anyway.
So, notifying the house parent,
Sorry.
they, they said, we want this one child. And the woman was very hesitant and didn't think the young man would be the appropriate fit for the family. But at last, the housekeeper gave in, and the family turned from a family of 3 to a family of 4, with their newest addition.
You're frightening me because you're saying like the nun. I'm still calling her a nun. She's like, this is not a good fit. There's something up right now, and you're not showing all your cards.
It doesn't matter. But so,
It's a mouse, isn't it?
no.
Stuart Little. 2.
So Eleanor and Frederick, coming into their new family, were delighted to find out the two boys had taken to each other famously. And much to their surprise, a filmmaker, Rob Minkoff, approached the parents to make a documentary about what it's like to have an adopted child. Mm-hmm. This is where things got a little crazy. Nothing went wrong with the family, but in 2009, a art historian named Girly
Chew?
It's Gergle. Girly Barkey. We're just going to call him Barkey.
We got some weird names today, huh?
So Barkey, who was 43 at the time, had caught something in the footage that no one else had noticed while watching the documentary 10 years later.
Okay.
During the film, a piece of artwork was hanging in the background and was quickly spotted by this art historian. Mm-hmm. And he quickly noticed that it was the long-lost avant-garde painting named Sleeping Lady in the Black Vase.
That's creepy.
Yeah. So this painting would be a classic piece of art made famous by Robert Barany, a Hungarian artist who lived from 1887 to 1952. A hugely famous revolutionary artist who mastered and introduced the art style of Cubism.
Cubanism.
That sounds like a dietary thing.
Everybody in the paintings is fucking smoking cigars.
I only eat melon shaped in cubes.
No, they're all smoking cigars and wearing fedoras and playing dominoes. And
Yeah.
Welcome to Cuba.
So Cubism and Expressionism to the Hungarian art world. The Sleeping Lady in the Black Vase was a mysterious painting that had gone missing in 1928.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And it had been missing ever since, until the vigilant eyes of Barkey noticed it.
Damn, but Barkey, see, he's looking for the details.
Well, the most impressive thing about this is the fact that the only image that existed in...
Is there a phone call going off right now?
Dipshit over here.
Oh,
The coward.
he's a fucking asshole.
You enjoying Grand Theft Auto over there, bud?
He's running people over as we're talking about serious stories about the women in the black vase.
So the impressive thing about this story is that the only known image of the painting was a faded black and white photo from the exhibit in 1928.
Oh, okay. So, like,
So it was right before it vanished. So the only
there's
image
only
of
one
it,
picture of it.
well, it was a photo from 1928. So
Yeah, so it's just like kind of like it's kind of hard to fathom that now because we all have we take pictures of everything, but
Yeah.
like people are like, oh, have you seen the lady in the black vase? And someone's like, no, I haven't, and then they just don't see it until they have to go to that art exhibit, and if it moves on, then you never see it ever. You know what I
exactly.
mean? So
And it's just like so impressive that someone was like that detailed about this art that
they knew about that.
they knew about it.
They knew what it looked like,
And then they see it in this film in color and go, holy shit, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. So
We took a sharp turn from the adoption. We better come back to that.
we will.
Okay.
So Barkey was stunned and started sending just an obnoxious amount of emails to the production company of the documentary, begging to know the whereabouts of the painting.
Oh my god, I would never. That is so creepy. He's like, where does that kid live? Like if you're smart, you pretend it was the painting, and then you go adopt the other kid that you wanted.
I'm sure he mentioned in his several emails that that was a long lost piece of art that was worth a lot of money.
Oh wow.
And he didn't stop sending emails, and he finally got a reply 2 years later.
Wow, that took a while.
So finally tracking down the mythical artwork that had been missing for over 80 years and contacting the owner, who said they found it at a thrift shop for cheap.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's a Macklemore song.
So
Walk into the club like I got a woman in a black vase.
I'm ashamed to say that is the artist I've seen the most live. I've seen him like fucking 15 times live.
Well,
he is really good live.
No,
like
he's from the Pacific Northwest. That makes sense.
yeah, no, I mean
Seattle.
the first time I saw him was like 2006. So
I don't hate Macklemore. I used to really like him, but
Yeah.
sold out a little bit, but he's still good.
he's a great live artist. His performances sound just like the recordings, so you
Yeah.
got to appreciate that. So the owner actually sold the art piece for $250,000 in 2014.
Okay, I thought it would be a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, it's
It's-
more than anything in my house. So what the fuck am I talking about?
yeah. So just to get back to what you're saying, did I mention the last name of the family of the documentary? It might have slipped my mind.
They said Hitler.
It was the Littles.
Wait, what?
The family's last name was Little.
Yo, wait. Wait, is this Stuart Little? wait.
Yeah. That boy they adopted, his name was Stuart.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I just get be like, I did not know about this story at all. I was just
Yeah.
fucking with you and being like, oh, is that a mouse? And you're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about fucking the movie Stuart Little.
Oh.
There was a scene in the movie that in the background there's a painting, and it turned out that someone in the art department found it for dressing set in a thrift shop and just bought it super cheap, and they just used it in the movie. And the guy was watching the movie with his like daughter, and saw it. And so he spent 2 years trying to contact Sony and Columbia Pictures, being like, where the fuck is that painting? Like, you don't understand.
Oh my god.
And so somehow this long lost piece of art after World War I, which was famous for people stealing art and other valuables, made its way to a Pasadena
Thrift shop.
Antique thrift store.
Oh wow.
And the set designer bought it, and they put it in the movie, and afterwards they just like hung it in their living room for like 10 years until this all happened.
See, the only thing that stings a little bit is that that Sony and Columbia, whoever owned that, literally got the money for that, and that's the only thing that stings a little bit. And well, because they own all the props, unless like literally one of the other prop masters is like, well, I'm going to take this. This is kind of a cool painting. And then he kept it or something. But like, there's like legal ramifications if like the guy took it. Because a lot of people like, they'll take some set deck shit and they'll be like, well,
I take so much shit from set.
Yeah.
But they always tell me to take it.
Yeah. It's not like you're stealing, but
No.
like if they find out that it's, $250,000, Sony will be like, well, that is legally ours. There is
Yeah.
no purchase. Like,
I hope
they'll
not.
be
We should look
shitty
into
about
that.
But yeah, I want to find out who actually got the money because Stuart Little got enough money. That movie was
A box office hit.
I still talk about it daily.
Yeah.
And whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I knew you were being coy and leaving out little details. I'm like, why would they just have a documentary about a kid that got adopted? And I was
Yeah.
like, but
I also had a sentence that was saying the kid's name was Stuart, but that was you already blew
I
the
was
cover.
already so close with my bloody hammer to hitting the nail on the head that you had to take it out of my hands.
Yeah.
Tampering with evidence.
But yeah, that's my story.
Whoa,
So,
that's
yeah.
fun.
The movie Stuart Little led to finding
Led to Finding Nemo.
a piece of art that was missing for over 80 years.
That too. Wow. That's
Yep.
fun.
Isn't that?
That's just fun. That's my dream of walking into a thrift shop and being like, I like this clown statue. And then I bring the clown statue home
And it kills you?
and yeah, it's haunted.
It kills me in the most brutal way when I'm asleep. Oh, I just love
It
that.
drops this big porcelain foot on my forehead. Ow. Anyway, okay. I think we're done for today.
Yep, we're good.
So I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. We love it when you do, and we love telling you these stories. If you guys need more information, go to campstrange.com. We got all of our hyperlinks there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We got it all. And if you want to send us a story, click the contact tab and send us over a story or just send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. Did I mention we also have merch, baby? We got hats. We don't have hats. We have mugs.
I'll
We have
make you a hat.
shirts.
I'll make you a hat of my body hair.
Not yet.
It might take a while, but
I guess we know what David was leading with.
Huh?
So we do have merch, but David, what else do we got?
I honestly think we should pull our friend over there to join us.
Oh, we have to get Coward over here.
Should we invite Coward over to do this?
Coward?
Oh, he's already working his way over.
Coward. Okay. Is he gonna share a mic with me?
Yeah, sure.
I gotta sit next to me, buddy.
What do you got? What do you got
smack
for us?
your knee on the thing real quick.
Hey, everybody. Bet you're sick of me.
They're all going boo.
Yep, nope, I know my listeners.
So, David, what do we got?
We got two morons and a coward.
We got a hat made of body hair. I stole it.
We got 6 fingerling potatoes that have sharp teeth.
We got Shaquille O'Neal's floss.
We have a bucket of Elmer's glue.
We got that time your dad yelled at you after Little League practice.
We've got your Postmates order being delivered by Aaron that I just got texted.
We got. Do you order Postmates?
It's connected to Riley, my girlfriend's.
Okay. We get it. We get it. You have a girlfriend.
I mention it a lot. She
Fuck
loves
you.
how
Fuck
often
you.
I mention it.
We got that book your friend got you, but you're never going to read it because he's kind of a douche.
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got your friend that's a douche, and it's me.
We got a puffer fish, and you could throw it and it'll stick to someone.
We've got a bag of ecstasy. Don't tell the cops.
You got a big old trough of butter, honey butter.
We have a tiny big man.
We got a buttery big butt man.
Wait, what? Say it again.
We got a buttery big butt man.
There. That's it.
I don't think we're gonna get any better than that.
No, let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coward. That's
See you
it.
guys.
Oh, and he's out. He's gone. He's gonna go run more people over and
Grand Theft Auto.
I almost called it Game of Thrones. What the fuck am I talking about?
Is this paid advertisement?
Okay, thanks you guys for tuning in. We love it when you do, and we love telling you these stories. David, do you have anything else to say?
Don't try to count the holes in your school ceiling.
And don't forget to stay strange.